1-1 pitch from Thompson, lifted high and deep in the air to right field. Grandal knows it. 3-run go-ahead home run puts the Bucks on top 9-8. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Bobby Valentine Sports Show. I'm your host, Frank Rampin, back in the home studio with all the lovely pieces of memorabilia on the wall. Let's dive into another week of the MLB season. So, second week of May, Mother's Day was yesterday. Lots of great Mother's Day baseball yesterday. Happy Mother's Day to everyone out there, all the moms, including my mom. So let's start off with the play of the week. This one's going to take us out to Atlanta, Georgia. This one in a game between the Red Sox and the Braves. Chris Sale on the bump, Garrett Cooper at the dish. Cooper gets into a slider from Sale, lifts it high and deep in the air to left. Kelenic back to the track, at the wall, sizes it up, leaps, and brings the home run back. Unbelievable timing of the jump by Jarred Kelenic. Got to the spot, timed it up perfectly, leaped, looked like he didn't even know that he caught it, realized that he had it in the webbing, lost his mind. Unbelievable play from Jarred Kelenic. Chris Sale loves it. Almost gave up a homer there, but not to be. So Jarred Kelenic, the Braves, they've been playing some pretty good baseball as of late, but not as good as their counterparts in the division, the Philadelphia Phillies, who have been the hottest team in baseball, them and the Twins, but the Phillies have the best record in baseball. So now Jarred Kelenic makes an unbelievable play. Let's go to our game of the week. This one, Saturday, Pirates versus Cubs, the very, very highly anticipated debut of Paul Skeens, the number one overall pick in last year's MLB draft, finally coming up to pitch for the big club in Pittsburgh. So this was very, very anticipated. This was a huge, I think it was a sellout crowd in Pittsburgh. On May 11th, the crowd was absolutely rocking. It was unbelievable. So Skeens comes out to take the mound for his first inning of work. Top of the first inning, Pittsburgh PNC Park is buzzing. First batter, he's going to face Mike Tauchman, and he blows him away with 101. See you later, first batter, first strikeout for the big man, Paul Skeens. And all 5 of the 4-seam fastballs he threw in the first at-bat to Mike Tauchman were over 100 miles an hour. So just locked in, ready to go immediately, and did not stop there. Next batter, Seiya Suzuki, quickly gets ahead of him 0-2. We got players in the dugout taking pictures, and that absolutely disgusting slider locks him up. Suzuki with a terrible sword-like swing. Paul Skeens, 2 strikeouts through 2 batters. Cody Bellinger comes up for the third time. Finally makes him work a little bit, works a walk, but then he gets out of the first inning. So Paul Skeens, his debut. First inning down into the books. The crowd was going insane. It was an unbelievable scene in Pittsburgh. And the announcer kept saying, it is May 11th in Pittsburgh. Because, I mean, you follow baseball, you know what's going on. I mean, they haven't really been the best team as of late. So, I mean, this early in the year, having this much of a buzz, pretty great. So, second inning now, Skeens still out on the bump. Gets into a little bit of a jam here. His first jam as a big leaguer. Bases loaded, 1 out. Yan Gomes, the veteran catcher at the dish. 2-2 count. Fastball blows him away. Looking at it, 101, goodbye. Look at the movement on that pitch. That's unbelievable. Yasmani Grandal, veteran catcher, had to almost didn't catch it. Yan Gomes looking. So 2 away here. Tauchman, the next batter. Bases loaded now still. And Tauchman grounds one over to second. Nice play over there. That Triolo throws it over to Connor Joe for the third out. So Skeens escapes his first jam that he gets into as a professional. And the score remains 0-0. And man, was this crowd loving them? Was Paul Skeens like the absolute man for this day? That's going to bring up Connor Joe, bottom of the third inning. Runners on first and second. 0-2 pitch with 2 outs. Hanger, high and deep to left, that one's gone. So this was actually Justin Steele's return as well. He got hurt on opening day. Finally back into the rotation for the Cubbies. Gives up his first home run since coming back. Connor Joe takes him deep for a 3-run shot. Next batter, O'Neal Cruz. He goes down 0-2 as well. So back-to-back batters down 0-2 with 2 outs. Another hanging slider from Steele deposited over by the Miller Time bar over there in right center field. A Cruz missile from O'Neal Cruz. 4-0 Pirates here in the third. So back out to the bump and Paul Skeens. K's Ian Happ to start off the 4th inning. 1 away with 100. So we got people in the crowd with the fake mustaches on. And I mean, that movement, that ride on that fastball is unbelievable. But that's going to bring up Nico Horner, the next batter. This time that one hangs up over the fence in left field. So the first run to come in against Paul Skeens is a solo shot off the bat of Nico Horner. So I'm sure that'll be a trivia question one day. Who was the first person to homer off Paul Skeens? Nico Hoerner. And that's pretty interesting, honestly. He's not a very much of a power hitter, but Nico Hoerner, I believe that was his second home run of the year. So 4-1, Pirates still on top. Skeens still out there. Headed to the bottom of the fourth, Michael A. Taylor with a runner on first. Skies one deep into the air down the right field line, just barely getting out of here. Michael A. Taylor's first home run for the Buccos. 6-1, Pirates in front. Nice piece of hitting there. Just able to get that one out over the 21-foot Roberto Clemente wall in right field at PNC Park. So 6-1 Pirates. Crowd loving Paul Skeens. He's back out there for the fifth. Gives up a base hit down the right field line to Mike Tauchman. He's going to get up to second base, so extra bases there for him. And then Seiya Suzuki grounds one softly to Ono Cruz in the hole. Long throw, unable to make it in time. So back-to-back hits to start off the fifth inning. Only 84 pitches into his outing. That's going to do it for Paul Skeens. So a little bit of a quick leash there as Skeens gets pulled with runners on first and second, nobody out. So 4+ the line for Skeens. One earned run on the home run from Nico Hoerner. Struck out 7, responsible for the runners on first and second. But man, I'm sure he would have loved to keep his day going. But walks off to an unbelievable ovation from the fans at PNC Park as they know that this is their pitcher of the future. Him and Jared Jones could be a very, very formidable 1-2 in the rotation. So now Kyle Nicholas, the reliever, first batter he faces, Cody Bellinger, gets him swinging. Nice slider there. So now 1 out. Next batter, Christopher Morel, blows a fastball by him. So 2 quick strikeouts out of the pen for Kyle Nicholas. And then the next batter, Ian Happ. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Ian Happ, first pitch to hits him in the foot. So that's going to load up the bases now. 6-1 ball game, 2 outs, bases loaded. So that's going to bring up Nico Hoerner, responsible for the only Cubs run. 4-pitch walk from Nicholas to Hoerner. So that's going to force in a run. 6-2. Now, Pirates still on top. Next batter, another 4-pitch walk to force in another run. 6-3. Cubs cut the lead in half, and both of Skeens' runs comes in. So now it's 3 earned on the day. Miles Mastrobuoni, another walk, and another free base runner pushed across. So now it's 6-4. Unbelievable, and that's going to do it for Kyle Nicholas. After getting 2 strikeouts and 3 walks in a row, his day is done. Josh Fleming comes in. First batter he faces, Yan Gomes, 5-pitch walk. Forces in another run. 6-5 the ball game now. This is getting unbelievable. 6-5, bases loaded, still 2 outs. Mike Tauchman, slow hit ground ball in the hole. O'Neal Cruz has no play. Infield single ties things up. 6-6 in the top of the fifth. Unbelievable turn of events here, as it was 6-1. Skeens going into the inning gets pulled, and then as soon as they tie the game up, the Pirates ground screw comes on, and it's a rain delay. So after a 2-hour and 20-minute rain delay, Pirates were up 6-1, immediately gave up 5 in the top of the fifth inning, then a rain delay. So 2.5 hours after, 6-6 ball game. Colin Holderman, the new pitcher for the Pirates, to come in after the delay. And what's he going to do? First batter he faces, 4-pitch walk. Go-ahead run comes in, 7-6 Cubs on top. I mean, are you kidding me? This is absurd. Absurd. As soon as Skeens comes out, the house gets walked in. Next batter, Cody Bellinger. And guess what? Another walk. 6 bases loaded walks in 1 inning for Pirates pitching. The most by any team since 1959. The first team to do it since 1959. So Paul Skeens comes in, most highly anticipated debut, maybe of the entire season this year in the MLB. He comes in, throws 4 solid innings, gives up a home run, gets out of a jam, strikes out 7, gives up 2 early base runners in the 5th. You pull him, 2 quick outs from the relievers, 3 walks in a row from him, get him out of there. 2 more walks in a row, or 1 more walk, then an infield single to tie things up. 2-hour rain delay, then 2 more back-to-back walks to give the Cubs an 8-6 lead. And the Pirates, in this unbelievable top half of the 5th inning, become the first team since 1959 to walk 6 people with the bases loaded in the same inning. Unbelievable stuff. I've never seen anything like it. Obviously, no one has since 1959. Ridiculous. So now the Cubs on top 8-7, and Pirates finally get out of the top of the 5th inning, headed to the bottom. So now 2 outs, Yasmani Grandal at the dish, runners on first and second. 1-1 pitch from Thompson, lifted high and deep in the air to right field. Grandal knows it. 3-run go-ahead home run puts the Bucks on top 9-8. What a ridiculously wild 5th inning this was, top and bottom. I just said the top of the 5th was unbelievable. Probably took about 3 hours if you factor in the rain delay and the 7-run scoring. Yeah, 7-run scoring in the top of the fifth, plus a 2-hour and 20-minute rain delay with 6 people being walked to force in runs. And then in the bottom half of the fifth inning, Yasmani Grandal hits a 3-run homer to give the Bucks the lead. So what a whirlwind of a fifth inning. If Pirates fans stayed through that rain delay, you got a treat. So 9-8, the Pirates on top. Head to the bottom of the sixth inning. Andrew McCutchen coming in to lead off the inning. And Andrew McCutchen actually been a part of a lot of interesting debuts. He was leadoff hitter for the Pirates in that 14 strikeout debut for Steven Strasburg. Now he's leading off for the Pirates here again in Paul Skeens' debut. So he comes up, Pittsburgh up 9-8, 1-0 pitch in the bottom of the sixth. Kutch absolutely cranks it. High and deep out in the air to left field, into the bullpen. Kutch does it again. How many home runs has he hit at PNC Park? I don't know, but it's countless. That sweet swing that we're so accustomed to seeing. My guy, the boy. McCutchen going deep. I have to get out to Pittsburgh this year to see him, giving a little bit of breathing room. 10-8 headed to the ninth. So now David Bednar trying to get the save. Nobody out. Runners on first and third. Mike Talkman at the plate lifts one to Michael A. Taylor in center. That's going to bring in a run. So now 10-9 on the sac fly from Talkman. Bednar looking to get the final out. So after getting the second out on a ground out from Seiya Suzuki, the tying run is on third. Cody Bellinger at the dish. He swings, lifts one pretty deep into right field, but Jack Sawinski makes the catch on the warning track. A topsy-turvy, wild game between this Cubs and Pirates, but the Pirates end up coming on top, 10-9 in Paul Skeens' Major League debut. He didn't get the win. He didn't qualify for it. Didn't go into the fifth inning, or did, but did not record an out after getting pulled after giving up 2 leadoff hits. So Paul Skeens, they do win the game, but he's still looking for win number 1. So what a wild game that was in Pittsburgh. But hopefully Paul Skeens will be up and will continue to pitch very well throughout this season. So now let's go into the standings update. Start with the American League East like we always do. The Baltimore Orioles, 26-13 so far. 103 consecutive regular season series of 2 games or more where they have not been swept. The only series they've been swept in during that time period was actually in the playoffs last year when who were they swept by? I can't remember. Was it the Rangers? No, the Rangers beat the Rays. I'm blanking right now. I'm going to be completely honest, but they did get swept in the playoffs last year. They haven't been swept in the regular season in 103 consecutive series. Wild. So they're 26-13. They lost yesterday on Mother's Day, but their 26-12 start matches the best 38-game start in franchise history. They did it in 1969, the year when they made the World Series. They won the AL pennant. And then the next year in 1970 when they got over the hump and won the World Series. So this is a historical year for the Orioles, matching what hasn't been done since the 69-70 legendary teams. And the Yankees, they're 27-15. Giancarlo Stanton hit a 118.8-mile-an-hour home run off of Justin Verlander. Hardest ball hit off of him in the StatCast era. He also, Giancarlo Stanton, hit another home run this week at 119.9. It was the 5th hardest hit ball in MLB since the beginning of 2015. That's when StatCast was introduced. So those were Stanton's number 6 and number 7 home runs of over 118 miles an hour since 2015. The rest of the league has 6 combined. So Stanton now has 7 homers of 118 miles an hour or harder. The whole rest of the MLB, 6. That's wild. Yankees have played some very good baseball. Their pitching has been unbelievable. Luis Gil, the man who came in to fill Garrett Cole's spot in the rotation, has been untouchable. The Red Sox, they're 21-19. Their pitching has still been amazing. Offense needs to turn things around a little bit, but the pitching is still going to keep them in there. And if you were going to say that the Red Sox were going to be fighting with 20 wins this early in the season, I mean, I think you'd be lying, really. The Rays, they're 20-21. They're starting to turn things around a little bit. Yandy Diaz and Randy Arozarena starting to hit a little bit. They need those guys. Same with the Blue Jays. They're starting to get there. They're still 4 games under 500. Vladdy is starting to heat up for them. The National League East, the best team in baseball right now, the Philadelphia Phillies. They are 28-13. Saw them play on Friday night. Saw Ranger Suarez throw an absolute gem at Lone Depot Park in Miami. Shoved against the Marlins. I also won $150, actually, or $850. Me and Bill. Shout out Bill. But Bryce Harper became the first Philly to have 3 or more home runs, 10 or more RBIs in a 3-game span since himself, Bryce Harper, back in 2019. And just mentioned, Ranger Suarez, watched him pitch Friday night. He became the first Philly starter since Grover Alexander in 1916 to open a season with a 1.5 ERA or better in 8 starts. So only the second pitcher ever in Phillies history, and the first time it's happened in 110 years. Pretty impressive stuff from Ranger. The Braves, right on their heels, though, at 24-13. Saw them this weekend against the Mets. Max Fried became the first Braves pitcher with 2 6+ innings pitched no-hit bids in a 3-start span in a single season since Kevin Millwood back in 1999. So Max Fried took a no-hitter into the 8th at T-Mobile Park in Seattle, and then he did it again at Citi Field against the Mets just 2 starts later. But we all know that game ended up with a J.D. Martinez homer with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th inning to break up the no-hitter. Got a little bit of the statistics on that for you as well. But Acuna now has 12 career bombs with 450-plus feet. That's 3 more than anyone else in the league since 2018. And he's just a freak. When he gets going, and it looks like he might be starting to get going. The Mets, 19-20, right behind them, mentioned J.D. Martinez, became the first player to break up a no-hitter with a home run with 2 outs in the 9th inning since 1998. It's the first time it's happened this century. Pretty cool stuff. The Washington Nationals have been pretty surprising this year. They're the same as the Mets, 1 game under 19-20. And Trevor Williams is the only starting pitcher in the MLB who has not surrendered a home run this year. 35 innings pitched, the minimum on that. So Trevor Williams, the only pitcher to not give up a home run. The Miami Marlins sitting at 11-31. I've seen 3 Marlins games in person. One of them they actually won, but man, they have not been very good this year. The Marlins are struggling. Their pitching has not been good. They traded away their best player, Luis Ariz, and he's been tearing it up for the Padres. So tough season so far for Miami. As we move to the AL Central, Cleveland Guardians, 25-16. They improved 2 yesterday as they got their 10th consecutive win on Mother's Day. Their last loss on Mother's Day was 2012. Pretty impressive stuff from Cleveland. The Minnesota Twins, arguably the hottest team in baseball, them and Philadelphia. They're 24-16. Manuel Margot, he tied an MLB record for the most RBIs in a game, 5, in a game where he only had 1 hit, and that 1 hit was not a home run. So he only had 1 hit in a game. He had 5 RBIs, and that hit was not a home run. Only the 10th player in MLB history to do this since RBIs became an official stat in 1920. Pretty impressive stuff. Ryan Jeffers, 8 straight games with an extra base hit, tied for the second longest streak in Twins history, and they've won 6 series in a row. That's the longest streak they've had since 2010, and this Twins team is hot. And it's all because of one special summer sausage. I don't know if you've seen it, but every time a Minnesota Twins player hits a home run, they chuck the sausage at him, and it hit Carlos Santana in the head the other day. They found this sausage one day. They just pulled it up, and Ryan Jeffers and Edouard Julien, they both just decided to touch it before their at-bats. Back-to-back home runs. So ever since that day, with the summer sausage just being there, they touched it. They had to use it every single time, and all the hitters use it, and they've gone on a ridiculous streak and arguably are the hottest team in baseball. So the power of the sausage is well alive. So the Kansas City Royals, very good start for them. They're 25-17. Dayron Blanco is one of 2 players in the last 50 seasons to have a homer, a bunt hit, a double, and 2 steals in one game. The other one being Larry Walker back in 1996. So a pretty impressive stat line for him. Well-rounded game. And here are the players that have 250 or more home runs with a single franchise, but they're catchers. So minimum 50% of games played at catcher, because the catchers, they're going to have to DH some. They're going to have to maybe play first at the end of their career. But minimum of 50% of games played at catcher. Players to have 250 or more home runs with a single franchise. Leading this list, Johnny Bench, 389 homers for the Cincinnati Reds. Yogi Berra, second, 358 for the Yanks. Jorge Posada, the Yankee great, with 275. And then Salvador Perez joins the list, 254 home runs for the Royals, including 48 back in 2021, which was the single-season record for a catcher in any single season. So pretty impressive stuff for them. And the Royals moved to 8 games over 500 for the first time since June 1st of 2016, 8 years ago. So pretty impressive stuff from them, as that was the year after they won the World Series. Tigers, they're 20-20. Riley Green and Andy Abandoz, back-to-back games with a leadoff home run. It was the first time the Tigers had a leadoff homer in back-to-back games since June 3rd and 4th of 2002. The Chicago White Sox have not had a good start to the season. They are 12-29, but one of the bright spots has been Garrett Crochet on that starting rotation. He has 64 strikeouts in his first 9 starts. That passes Chris Sale, who had 60 for the most in White Sox history. Pretty impressive stuff from the left-hander. So we go to the NL Central now. The Milwaukee Brewers sitting on top. 24-16 the record. They're always somewhat about the top of this division every year. They can go through a new team, new coaches, new anything. That they always just seem to find a way to be solid. It's pretty impressive. Robert Gasser, 5th pitcher in Brewers history to complete 6 frames in his MLB debut without giving up a run. Pretty impressive stuff from him. Brewers won 8 straight games. That was snapped yesterday on Mother's Day. But before that, 8 straight games they've won against St. Louis. That's the longest win streak by either side in the rivalry's history. The Cubs, 24-17. Their Japanese sensation left-handed pitcher Shota Imanaga, he's got a 1.08 ERA. That's the 3rd lowest ERA through 7 career outings since 1913. And notice that says 7 career outings. So that could be like a relief outing. That's 2 outs, 1 inning. 7 career starts. He's got a 1.08 ERA, the 3rd best of all time. Unbelievable stuff from him. He's definitely going to be in Rookie of the Year conversation if he's not already at the top of it right now. The Pittsburgh Pirates, we talked about them a little bit. They had an unbelievable debut from Paul Skeens. They're 18-23. Paul Skeens, he had a 109.9 mile an hour pitch in the first inning, right? Fastest pitch by a Pirate starter since at least 2008, and I'm sure he's going to top that. We're going to see that hopefully for the rest of the season. And I mentioned this during our Game of the Week segment, but they had, after they pulled Skeens 4+ innings pitched, I believe he gave up 5 hits, 7 strikeouts, 1 earned run at the time because he gave up a homer to Nico Hoerner. 2 of his runners on base. He gets pulled. Back-to-back strikeouts. Walk. Infield single. Walk. 6 bases loaded walks in 1 inning. The first team to do so since 1959. Jesus. The Cincinnati Reds, my prediction to win this division, not looking so good right now. They're 17-23. But Elly De La Cruz has been out of this world. 21 stolen bases through the team's first 36 games. That's the 2nd most ever by a Red since 1901, behind only Deion Sanders, who had 23 back in 1997. So Elly De La Cruz, 21 steals through 36 games, 2nd most in team history behind Deion in 1997, when he was both playing football and baseball and I guess stealing 23 bags in the first 36 games. He also got his 25th steal in the first 38 games, so it took him 3 more games to pick up 4 more steals to get 25. 13th time since 1901 that a player has stolen 25 bases in his team's first 38 games. Only the 13th time. So Elly De La Cruz on pace to have a historic base running season if he can stay healthy and play out the whole year. Stuart Fairchild on Friday night hit an inside-the-park home run. A pinch hit inside the park home run in San Francisco against the Giants to give the Reds a little bit of breathing room. It was the Reds' first pinch hit inside the park home run since Champ Summers back on June 12th of 1977. And the Cardinals, they're 16-24. Again, not looking so good for them. However, Goldschmidt is turning it around a little bit, but Wilson Contreras, ever since he broke his wrist on a play where he got way too close in behind J.D. Martinez, his backswing drilled him, or not his backswing, his normal swing, just drilled him in the wrist, fractured it. He's probably going to be out for, 8 weeks at least, but they're not great again. So now that the West end things, start off with the American League. Seattle, they're 22-19. Their pitching has been great. Julio Rodriguez is starting to turn things around. If that offense can start going, this team's going to be very good, especially because they're already at the top of the West. Given this AL West has not been very good to start the season. The Rangers, 22-20, coming off of getting swept by the Colorado Rockies, one of the worst teams in baseball. It's probably the Marlins, the White Sox, and the Rockies, probably the bottom 3 at the moment. And the Rangers just got swept by them. Pretty crazy stuff. Marcus Semien now has 27 career leadoff home runs, 5 of those on the first pitch, including last Tuesday. The Rangers scored at least 10 runs in an inning against the A's. This was actually on last Wednesday, scored 10 runs in an inning with 1 or 0 extra base hits for just the 2nd time in team history. It was the first time since August 19th of 2023. And like I said, they got swept by the Rockies. My A's, baby, 19-23, only 4 games under. They've still been playing some good baseball. Shea Langoliers just had a historic doubleheader at the Coliseum, passed Reggie Jackson for the most RBIs in a doubleheader in Oakland A's history with 8. Reggie did that back in 1966, but Shea passes him 8 RBIs in a doubleheader, most by an A's player. Shea also had a triple in the second game, so he was the second A's catcher to have a home run and a triple in the same game. And he's done it twice now. So pretty impressive stuff. And Shea Langoliers as well, the first A's player to hit a home run in both games of a doubleheader since 1999. So what a weekend for Shea and the boys, still playing some solid baseball, 19-23. I'll be out in California next weekend, so I'm going to T-Mobile, not T-Mobile, wrong place. I'm going to Oracle Park in San Francisco, and then I'm going to the Oakland Coliseum a couple days after that. So next week, we'll be out in Cali doing a little bit of action. So, series actually starting tonight between my A's and the Houston Astros. Astros are 15-25, 10 games under 500 still in the middle of May. They're going to have to turn it around right now. I mean, probably right now or within the next couple of weeks, or they're going to have an absurd second half. Pretty weird stuff as of right now, but I mean, this could be it. They're playing us. We've been playing good. They've been playing bad. I hope this isn't the part of the season where it changes, but it could. The Angels, they're 15-26, only half game worse than the Astros, and they just picked up Kevin Pillar. And Kevin Pillar, in his first game as a Los Angeles Angel, hit 2 home runs and had 6 RBIs. His 7th career multi-home run game, and it was a career high in RBIs for him with 6. Pretty crazy, pretty stuff. And it was the first time he hit 2 homers in a game since 2021, so 3 years ago. So to round things out, the National League West, the Los Angeles Dodgers, 27-15 at the top. Freddie Freeman now has 4 career home runs on knuckleballs, matching the most in the pitch tracking era since 2008. The Padres, 22-21. And on Friday night, the Padres played the Dodgers. It was the only game in the modern era of the MLB where both starters went at least 7 innings pitched with 10 strikeouts and 2 or fewer hits allowed. Pretty impressive stuff from both starting pitchers. It was Michael King and Tyler Glasnow, and the game ended up being a 1-0 win for the Padres on a solo home run from Luis Campusano. And then yesterday, on Mother's Day, the Padres beat the Dodgers 4-0. It was the first shutout win versus the Dodgers since May 6th of 2018. 6 years ago. There have been 100 Dodgers-Padres games in between those 2 shutouts. Pretty crazy stuff. And on Friday night, Luis Arias hit a walk-off single in his first home game as a San Diego Padre. First time playing for the Padres at Petco Park. Walk-off single. So a pretty great way to introduce yourself to the home fans. Luis Arias, one of the best hitters in baseball. The Diamondbacks, 19-22. The offense has not been doing very well. Corbin Carroll, last year's Rookie of the Year, he has been struggling. They're going to need his bat to wake up. Ketel Marte starting to do a little bit better, so maybe this team is just starting to turn the corner, but the offense needs to wake up. Same thing here with the San Francisco Giants. They're 19-23. Offense has been very, very stagnant from them. Pitching's been all right. Kyle Harrison, 5th Giants pitcher with a start of 7+ scoreless innings at Coors Field. The last one was Barry Zito back in 2012. 12 years ago was the last time it happened. And Lamont Wade, he had a home run with a 50-degree launch angle. A 50-degree launch angle. That ties the highest launch angle of any over-the-fence home run since StatCast started in 2015. And to round things out, the Colorado Rockies, who are 12-28. Charlie Blackmon, who's been there for what seems like forever, he moved into 4th place on the club's all-time hit list with 4th all-time in the club's all-time RBI list with 761. So that's going to do it for this week on the Bobby Valentine Sports Show. It's been a pleasure, Frank Rampin with you. We'll be back every week for the rest of the MLB season with updates, plays of the week, games of the week, all that good stuff that you like. So make sure to follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, all that stuff at the Bobby Valentine Sports Show. And if you have any questions about the Bobby Valentine Sports Academy, at bvacademy.com, birthday parties, lessons, all that good stuff, whatever you need. So make sure to tune in next time, and we'll see you then. Peace out.